So you're thinking of visiting England, eh? A land of history, beauty, and let's be honest, some rather unpredictable weather. The key to enjoying your time here is to be ready for anything. Pack for sunshine, but pack for showers too. From the rolling hills of the countryside to the bustling streets of London, England is a feast for the senses. We've got ancient castles, charming villages, and a history that stretches back centuries. We're a friendly bunch, always happy to share a pint and a story. By the end of this video, you'll be prepped and ready to tackle everything this grand old country throws at you. Now let's talk about the weather, shall we? It's a topic that's always on our minds here in England. It can change on a dime. 1 minute it's sunshine and roses, the next you're caught in a downpour. The key is layers, my friends. Pack a bit of everything. A light jacket for when the sun decides to grace you, a waterproof layer for when the heavens open, and an umbrella because, well, this is England. Some of the most beautiful days here are the ones that start with a bit of drizzle. Think of it as part of the adventure, and hey, if all else fails, duck into a cozy pub and wait for the storm to pass. Now let's talk about getting around this green and pleasant land. England offers a variety of ways to travel, from the hustle and bustle of the London Underground to the quiet charm of a country lane. If you're sticking to the cities, public transportation is your friend. The tube can get you just about anywhere in the capital. For venturing further afield, the national rail system is your ticket to adventure. Trains crisscross the country, connecting major cities and quaint villages alike. Now, for those of you who prefer to set your own pace, renting a car is always an option. Just be prepared to drive on the left side of the road. And a word of warning, those charming country lanes can be a bit narrow and winding, so if you're not comfortable with a bit of a challenge, stick to the motorways. No matter how you choose to explore, remember to take your time, enjoy the journey, and don't be afraid to get a little lost along the way. Right, let's talk about the dosh, the moolah, the currency of the realm. Here in England, we use the Great British Pound, or pound sterling as it's officially known. The good news is that ATMs are widely available and most places accept credit cards. However, it's always a good idea to have a bit of local currency on hand, especially for smaller shops and markets. When it comes to tipping, it's not as much of a thing here as it is in some other countries. In restaurants, it's customary to leave a little something extra if the service has been good. Around 10% is standard, but for taxis and bartenders, a simple keep the change will suffice. And one last tip, be sure to check the exchange rate before you go. That way, you'll know exactly how many pounds your dollars are worth and you can budget accordingly. Now let's talk about a spot of etiquette, shall we? The English are a polite bunch and there are a few customs and courtesies that will serve you well on your travels. First and foremost, queuing. We take our line seriously here, whether it's for a bus, a pint at the pub, or even just to use the ATM. Cutting in line is a big no-no, so mind your P's and Q's and wait your turn. Another key thing to remember is to say please and thank you often. It's the small gestures of politeness that go a long way here. And when you meet someone for the first time, a handshake or a simple nod of the head will do. No need for any elaborate greetings. When it comes to pubs, which you'll undoubtedly be frequenting during your stay, remember that you order and pay for your drinks at the bar. There's no need to tip the bartender, although a little cheers, mate, is always appreciated. And finally, a word of advice on the topic of conversation. The English are a reserved lot, so it's best to avoid discussing politics, religion, or any other potentially controversial topics, especially with strangers. Now let's talk about something truly important, food and drink. English cuisine may not have the most glamorous reputation, but trust me, there are some real gems to be discovered. No trip to England is complete without a proper fish and chips. Crispy battered fish paired with fluffy chips. It's a classic for a reason. For a hearty start, tuck into a full English breakfast. Eggs, bacon, sausage, black pudding, baked beans, grilled tomato and toast. And if you're here on a Sunday, seek out a traditional Sunday roast. Roasted meat, Yorkshire pudding, roasted vegetables and gravy. No trip to England is complete without experiencing afternoon tea. Delicate finger sandwiches, freshly baked scones with clotted cream and jam, and steaming hot tea. And let's not forget about the pubs. Many pubs serve excellent food these days, from classic pub grub to more gastropub fare. Now, let's talk about staying safe and sound while you're here in England. The good news is that England is a generally safe country, with a relatively low crime rate. However, as with any destination, it's always wise to take certain precautions, especially in crowded tourist areas. Keep an eye on your belongings, be aware of your surroundings, and avoid walking alone late at night, especially in unfamiliar areas. If you do experience any trouble, don't hesitate to contact the local police. They're here to help. And remember, it's always a good idea to keep a copy of your passport and other important documents separate from your valuables, just in case. When it comes to health, you'll be pleased to know that England has an excellent healthcare system, the NHS. If you do need medical attention, you can visit a doctor or hospital without having to worry about breaking the bank. However, it's still a good idea to have travel insurance, just in case of any unforeseen circumstances. Now let's talk about the language barrier, or lack thereof. You'll be speaking English here, of course, but don't be surprised if you encounter a few regional accents and dialects that leave you scratching your head. From the rolling R's of the West Country to the sing-song tones of the Geordies up north, the English language takes on many different flavors across the country. Don't be afraid to ask someone to repeat themselves if you don't catch what they're saying. Most people are happy to oblige. And speaking of asking for help, don't hesitate to approach a local if you need directions or recommendations. The English are generally a friendly and helpful bunch. Oh, and a few words of warning about some common words that have different meanings here. Pants, for example, refers to underwear, not trousers. Biscuits are cookies, crisps are chips, and chips are fries. Just remember, embrace the linguistic quirks, keep a sense of humor, and you'll navigate the English language like a pro in no time. Let's talk about the fun stuff, sightseeing and activities. England is steeped in history, culture, and a touch of magic. From ancient ruins to world-class museums, there's something for everyone. History buffs will be spoilt for choice. Explore the Tower of London, Roman baths, or Stonehenge. Art lovers must visit the National Gallery, Tate Modern and Victoria and Albert Museum. Catch a show in London's West End. Visit iconic literary landmarks. See Shakespeare's birthplace, the Cotswolds, or Platform 9 3/4. Enjoy hiking, biking, and the great outdoors. The Lake District, Peak District, and Yorkshire Dales are breathtaking. They offer something for all fitness levels. So there you have it, a whirlwind tour of all things England. Remember, pack for all weather, embrace the eccentricities, and don't be afraid to get a little bit lost. England is a country of contrasts, a place where ancient history collides with modern life, where bustling cities give way to rolling countryside, and where a good cup of tea can solve almost any problem. Soak it all in, savor every moment, and most importantly, have a bloody good time. And who knows, you might even find yourself coming back for more. England gets under your skin, you see. It's a place that stays with you long after you've left its shores. I hope this video has given you the confidence to book that flight, pack your bags, and embark on your own English adventure. If you enjoyed this journey with me, give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more travel tips and inspiration. And be sure to share your own England experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear about your adventures. Until next time, happy travels.